Are you ready for the ultimate bikepacking weekend adventure? Join us for an unforgettable self-supported bikepacking trip through Southwest Virginia. The Grayson Gravel Pie Bikepacking Adventure travels along the Virginia Creeper Trail, the beautiful gravel roads of Grayson County, Virginia, and the New River Trail. All lodging and camping arrangements are included, along with daily routes and guides riding along with you. This self-supported adventure offers resupply opportunities every 20 miles for your food and water needs. Find out more at graveltraveldirt.com.
You're listening to Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brian.
And I'm Joey.
This, folks, is episode 231 of Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt. And Joey, fresh off of unPAved, that's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
You excited to share? I'm excited to hear all of the unPAved news because my only unPAved exposure was seeing some of the Instagram photos that came across. So I haven't talked to anybody. I haven't heard anything about it.
There was a couple.
So no, there was lots of stuff that came out, but I haven't talked to anybody in person about unPAved. So I'm excited to do that. I'm excited to hear all about it.
I'll tell you all about my 0.34 miles I rode.
I want to hear why, because I saw there was no Strava entry. Folks, if you're new here, this is the podcast where we talk about gravel bikes, adventure biking, bike packing, bike camping, and as you just heard, we're going to talk about unPAved of the Susquehanna River Valley, and we also just call that playing bikes. Remember, folks,
we call it undaved.
Undaved. Remember to check the show notes for our most current discount codes. We're going to have all of that from all of our friends over there, so you can go get some deals. And as we've said in the past, if you just try GTD20 on any bike-related website and it doesn't work, maybe that will tell those people that they need to start using that code. I like that approach. Brute force. Brute force. Before we get to any of those things, though, I want to give a shout out to Daryl, who is recuperating. And Daryl, we very much are glad that you listened to your body and got checked out and got yourself straightened out. And it looks like you're doing great. Jason's keeping me in the loop. So fantastic. Keep that healing going. And we wish you much, much love. And so keep getting better.
And thanks for your slices of lasagna since he wasn't there.
Did you actually even still get lasagna? Daryl?
Oh, yeah.
Daryl even still had a presence at unPAved with the food, even though he wasn't there?
Yeah.
Oh, see, that's how you do it. Thank you, Daryl. Also want to give out a shout out to Nadine. Nadine, keep healing, keep moving in the right direction. We're waiting for you to get back. Can I just talk my Florida adventures for just a couple of minutes, Joey, before we start talking about all the unPAved stuff? And we'll
Florida man stories or Pennsylvania?
You
have a crack of the week?
There's no crack of the week. No, we're both on the wagon again, right?
I got Earl Grey nighttime tea.
Now, so the folks know, we're doing this via Zoom because you're still not feeling well, right? You came back with a little creep.
I got the black lung, Pop.
You do. What was it? Do you think it's just a little being run down, or what you think?
Honestly, I thought it was COVID because that's making its round again, but I tested negative.
Okay. And just kept on.
Yeah, I thought it was from the yelling Friday night, like extreme yelling, and my throat was kind of sore, so I thought I was going to lose my voice. And then driving home Monday, I had a cough, and I got hit by a freight train while I was sleeping Monday night.
You didn't have any of those off-brand gummy bears, did you?
No, God, no.
That's what got me last year coming over from unPAved.
That was 2 years ago, you and Marcus.
Yeah, was it last year or 2 years? That was 2 years ago. No, it was last year.
No, it was 21
years ago. God, you know what? unPAved is just such like a major life event for me that it all runs together. So I was in Florida for my daughter's wedding. Had fantastic weather while we were down there. Outstanding. Although we had smoke from Canada for the first couple of days, believe it or not. Central Florida was inundated with smoke. You could smell it. Something about the storm sitting off the coast and it's blowing it down. But I did get to ride my bike on a couple of trails that were right outside of the hotel. And then I also Did my usual. I went over to Lake Apopka and visited the alligators, although I didn't see a lot of alligators this year. I only saw one gator. I was on the Shingle Creek Trail that's sort of west of Orlando, south and west of Orlando. It's the headwaters of the Everglades. So saw a couple of gators in that little creek, a little creek, and it was fun though. So I did get to take my bike. I got to ride my bike. And long-term review on the tailfin rack, Joey. I came by the shop the other day to show it off, but you weren't there. But long-term review, I've used it once now, and it really is all that in a bag of chips. Light, stable, put stuff in the bag. I actually carried my lunch on my Lake Apopka day. I had like a giant water bottle and some beef jerky and some cheese and some pickles and some cookies and all sorts of stuff shoved in that bag, and it all made it right
picnic.
Yeah, that's basically what I did. I stopped at one of the little picnic tables, and there was another rider there who was going the other direction, and we stopped and chatted for a little bit and had a little lunch, and then kept going. It's kind of cool. So that's my Florida adventures. I do like that Lake Apopka, although I probably need to find something new down there. Although the last time I did that, I ended up in a swamp, right? Yeah, maybe I.
No wedding crashers. A good wedding.
That was a fantastic wedding. People don't want to hear about that though. It was a fantastic wedding. Just everything went off without a hitch, and except for the one important hitch that happened when they got married. So it was fantastic. Boom, boom. Okay, before you go to unPAved though, do you want to do Strava Club real quick?
Yeah. I apologize to Andrea Czerwinski. Probably said that right.
No, I think you did.
Got that Polish background there.
Yeah.
I'm half Polish. 186.9. John Gray from Chesapeake, Virginia with 117.6, or from Hickok Trail because it's my parents' neighbor, John Gray.
Okay.
There might be more than one. And Daniel Voy from Pittsburgh, PA with 133.7.
Danielle.
Danielle, my laptop's further away because it's set up.
It's Danielle.
Danielle. To break in the top 100, you need 115.8. And that's strava.com/clubs/gravel travel dirt.
Cool.
So all you had to do was the long course at unPAved this weekend, and you could have made it.
It's true. That was 100. What was the exact measure on long course? 120. Was there any change?
I saw between 120 and 130 for some folks.
Okay.
But I also saw a couple thousand feet elevation difference between folks too.
Okay. Yeah,
I saw Strava profiles with like 12,000 feet and some with 10,000 feet on that. Like you're in the woods.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends. If you tell Strava to correct it, it uses their
their
Strava,
algorithm.
their thing, and your Garmin head unit or whatever head unit you're using, there can be some wild fluctuations in a day that's that big. So, you can be all over the map. You can literally see what I did there.
Well, if you had purple lizard maps, you'd be a little more secure.
Full of it tonight. So, okay. So, how do you want to do this? Do you want to walk through the entirety of the weekend?
I'll walk through it from someone who didn't ride the event at all.
Okay. I got to hear because I was down in Florida and I was looking at Strava going, Joey didn't ride unPAved.
Well, you knew I was a mechanic, right?
Yes. Yeah. I know.
Oh yeah.
But
so the weather changed my plans.
You did the same thing last year though, and you got to ride a little bit. So I'll shut up.
Yeah. So walking through unPAved from my standpoint, and I'll give you a little bit of Jess's rundown. She's on the couch doing probably TikTok or homework or both at the same time. Excuse me. So we got up there before dinner. We stayed with Casey, Rod, and Arturo. So we got actually we were literally across the street, like the front porch. You could see the front porch of our house from last year.
How cool!
Much nicer house.
Oh, no sauna.
Like working toilets. I don't think there's anything wrong with our house last year, but this one was very. I don't know what to call it.
Well appointed.
Nice is what some people would say, but
Well appointed.
It had running toilets. We got there, and Casey gave us the whole downstairs, which was like a whole like separate apartment thing.
Nice.
Had its own like couch and TV and bedroom and bathroom and laundry room, which was nice for me and Jess. Unfortunately, we didn't spend a lot of time at the Airbnb. We were busy bees. So basically, unloaded everything. It went right to Bull Run, per usual. Our big bar crawl.
The one and done.
Yeah, so we had dinner with Rod and Casey, next to Ted and John, which had some really good food, typical, bar food. The wings, they had like sweet chili wings.
Nice.
Oh my God, they were delicious. And then Pat, Uncle Pat, what were we calling Pat? Father David, Uncle Pat.
Yeah, Uncle Pat.
Lulaka Pat set up the inside fixie roller races. Hold on, I got something in my.
That's okay. I did see the videos from the roller races, and I definitely need to hear what in the world, how that was measured, how it was competed.
I don't know. I didn't hear about it at all. The SRAM crew was at the bar, or in the tap room, and Cimarron said, "Go to the back. They're doing roller races, or we're set up roller races." So everyone was gathered around. It was getting set up. And Jess was going on about how she hates competition and blah, blah, blah. But she wanted to win something and free stuff. I'm like, well, I kept egging her on. But I stopped at a point. And next thing you know, Jess signed up when she heard there was a prize for doing it.
It's that internal conflict she has between wanting to get the free T-shirt and not wanting to be competitive.
Well, there wasn't any females doing it.
Instant win.
And man, I suck at this. Not the talking part.
Well, you're not real good at that either right now.
That sucks.
I feel like I'm putting you through torture, but you wanted to do this tonight.
I haven't coughed like this at all.
We haven't been talking.
I also haven't talked much in the last few days.
Yeah.
The winner got one of the RockShox gravel forks. I forgot the name of it.
Nice.
Pluto's a fat bike fork. It was like the Judy gravel. I don't know what it's called. That's why it's embarrassing. And Jess signed up. She was the first heat. She'd never seen it done before. I forgot who she raced against, but a couple false starts. And I think if there wasn't a couple false starts, she would add a little more energy because she was doing really good against the guy she was up against.
Nice.
She's all power in her legs, and started catching up back to him at the end. She didn't win the first round. I think a little practice and actually knowing what a fixed gear was and all. But she did really good. She had the whole entire bar yelling for her.
Oh, that's cool.
SRAM gave her $50 SRAM gift card, so she gets some shoes. Golly.
Good.
So that's how Friday started, and then the roller races kept going on. We left. I watched Dave win, Larry won. Larry raced a Larry, but I didn't know that, so he's yelling, for Larry to go. Swing Bike John won, and then we left.
Do you think?
And then I asked Ted.
Do you think Swing Bike John knows that his name is Swing Bike John?
I don't know.
He does now, but.
I texted Ted later that night. I said, I forgot what I said. I said status update or something because we rolled out early, and apparently we missed other people. Kerry Warner showed up, and John won. And John won the gravel fork.
Oh, nice! Good job, Swing Bike John. Swing Bike John.
Yeah.
Dog. Good job, John.
And then.
Hold up. So he beat Kerry Warner?
So can you bring me a tissue? Yeah, I guess the final round, I don't know how it actually went, was supposed to be Dave and John. But Kerry snuck in and they both put on the same shirt and tried to get on and race them, but I think John knew. Although I think John could have taken it. John definitely didn't start pedaling. There's a video of that.
Yeah, I saw that.
While Kerry was going, and then John started going, and almost caught up, but then he stopped pedaling.
Oh man!
But I don't think Dave was allowed to win the fork.
No, of course not.
So John still beat everyone.
Nice. Good job, John. Congratulations, buddy. That's awesome.
So I don't think it fits his current bike he sent me the other day, although SRAM said it fit everything, which I thought it did. So I told him he needs a new rodeo frame. Well, I didn't hear back from him after that.
Yeah.
So that was Friday night. We went home at 9 o'clock.
Smart
I was pretty
man.
pooped.
Smart man.
And I was starting to lose my voice from yelling, mostly at Jess.
For Jess.
Saturday morning,
you were yelling at Jess. You were yelling for Jess.
For Jess, yeah, not at Jess. Although Jess will tell you I yell at her all the time. Saturday, the forecast was not looking good. I was going to go out to RB Winters and ride the difference.
Okay.
But it poured until about noon.
Mm.
So we went to breakfast with Ted, secret little breakfast spot in another little town, which was amazing. Locals, just local old people, kind of grumpy, some of them kind of happy. Biggest portions of chip beef ever.
Nice.
And 7 cups of coffee later.
You didn't have to be blindfolded to go there, did you? So you still know where it is?
Yeah.
They didn't put a sack on your head to take you to the secret, nondescript breakfast location that you'd never...
No, Ted found it last year. It was way better than Denny's.
Excellent. Well, come on. It's not hard to beat.
But I know I meant to ask Casey because they went on Monday morning. Very good breakfast joint. So we decided to hit the festival really quick, the first part of the festival, check in for volunteer assignments, and then we actually took the car up into Bald Eagle and drove around for 3 or 4 hours.
Cool. I remember doing that the first time we went up there, and that's I think where we met Casey, wasn't it?
That's what I thought at the top of that.
Yeah.
In 2019, but no, that was fun. It was really muddy. It was kind of cool. It was a perfect Pennsylvania gray day.
Nice.
And then in the middle of all that, just clear blue skies. I hated it when it got sunny out, but so I didn't ride at all. Although I'll circle back to this really quick. The course was beautiful. I think that rain helped pack down some of the gravel. And it rolled so smooth for everyone on Saturday or on Sunday. We did a detour, and I didn't realize it was part of this course. There's always a road I went down after you go down Jones Mountain, and that is the road that took you out and back to RB Winters, which is one of the most beautiful places out there. Pope Hattie is the most beautiful. RB Winters it might parallel it. I'm definitely going to change what I do next year and spend some time out there.
Cool.
It was a perfect place for the difference for campers. It's not far away. It was 20 minutes from town by highway. Beautiful campsites. They have their own little beach, real bathrooms and all. It was great. I did not want to drive that course, so Jess didn't have to see the elevation.
Okay.
For Sunday, because that was still 3,200 feet.
Yeah, and that was on the 50, right?
No, that was a 30.
The 30. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah, actually. So, the funny thing is, the difference between the 30 and the 50 is you have 14. I know the rail trail is 8 miles each way, but you do cut off early. But you have rail trail and other roads that warms you up before Jones Mountain climb.
Right.
And so you have a lot of flat on the 50, and you are riding further, but when you start the 30, you're just starting straight up a hill.
You just
straight up a climb.
Just dive right in.
Yeah,
right
so
away.
There's no warm up. So I think it's hard to argue, the 30 versus the 50 for some folks, because the 30 wasn't no joke, but it was a real 30-mile beginner-ish gravel ride.
Yeah, and there's something
real gravel, real vistas. It wasn't some makeshift farm road thing. It was perfect.
Nice. Well, it's also, there's a mental component too, when you hear 30 versus 50, and, if you're starting out, elevation gain may or may not be something that's really on your radar. You're riding up a hill, but when you look at it on paper, you're not, so maybe that has something to do with it.
So that was we killed a lot of time doing that. We came back in town. A friend of mine who lives in Ithaca, New York, decided on Thursday to text me after talking to me about unPAved to ride his bike down.
Oh, get out of here, really?
And he finally, and the rain was coming. He was going to ride with me on Saturday, but I wasn't sure what his plan was. And then he got into World's End State Forest and lost all cell phone service. It was pouring down rain. But we picked him up at like 3 o'clock at the Fall Festival. And since it was Austin and he knows Larry, we took him over to eat lasagna with the West Virginia boys.
I thought I saw a picture.
It was Austin.
I thought I saw a picture of Austin.
Yeah, he split it up into 2 days. It was 125 miles, 12 or 13,000 feet of climbing. He spent the night in World's End, rode down. The next day, he was kind of soaking wet, but he dried out. He ate a lot of lasagna. We got food at the festival, so you could drive over the 15-minute drive to Larry's and Jason's to eat food. But it was pretty cool. Nice. I told all the guys in our house about him, and they got really excited to see him. And then he ended up going to the film festival, which was Saturday night. So we ate lasagna, and we all went to the film festival, which was awesome again. I want to thank Dave and folks for letting us have the VIP seats again, because those couches were nice.
Yep.
This is a bad episode. And okay. It was a mix of films. I think we had there was a really good 20-minute film about the overnight, and other parts of unPAved. There's some shorter clips. There was someone doing a multi-day overnight out in LA, and then there was a little bit of historic thing about Lewisburg, and then Kelly Catelli did a nice talk about how she's been riding and dealing with mental health and her concussion and riding this year.
Yeah. And
how it's changed everything for her. Nice. And that kind of wrapped up Saturday night.
That sounds great. I was wondering what the films were going to be. It sounds like that's a nice like broad mix. A little, actually, not just bikes. Yeah. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, it was a nice mix. Great popcorn. Like I said, I did not have alcohol this weekend, so it's kind of tough because there was multiple breweries.
Oof.
Yeah. But I know I kind of was cut and dry and boring about Saturday, but Saturday was great. I love driving through the forest. I don't think Jess realized she was okay at first of an hour or two in, and she's like, "We're still out here." I'm like, "Well, you don't just cut back into town really quick."
Yeah, you're out there.
She stuck it out with me.
Yeah, nice.
I found a couple really cool, full-on four-wheeling trails that were not Subaru or Tacoma or anything. They were almost like those,
Jeep roads.
They were like Jeep or those little mini, I don't know what they're called. Full-on Jeep roads.
Worse than
It was really cool exploring.
Worse than Longwell Draft?
Oh, I got to send you the picture of this thing. This thing, 20 yards in, would have taken out my oil pan and half my undercarriage.
Yeah, no, that ain't for me.
They look so cool that I wanted to go explore. But you need to
that's Jerryland.
You need a specific Jeep for that, or a Bronco or something.
You needed something lifted and sway, no sway bars, and the ability to get real flexy.
Yeah, Marcus should have brought up his Jeep. Marcus was there.
Oh, really?
The whole time I didn't see Marcus though. I saw him in the shop this week or last week. Him and Michael went out and camped at Popatty on Friday and Saturday. They volunteered at the swag tent on Saturday, but when they were pulling into town, we were leaving town.
Oh.
But they had to head out early Sunday, so we never saw them.
Oh, that's cool though. Good job, Marcus.
Yeah.
So you just went up there to volunteer then. That's pretty cool.
Yep. So coming to Sunday, me and Jess and Kelly, and we had a couple folks volunteering at RB Winter. So Mike Kuhn, everyone should know Mike.
Sure.
Was in charge of RB, and I set up a mechanics tent. They set up, we all got there at the same time, and we all set up. It was a great start and finish, huge parking lot, and Mike set up a huge grill. He was cooking pancakes and stuff. and the 30 milers had to leave at 10 o'clock. We got there like at 7. I got to go into the campsite and get some water, and I got to see all the overnighters. That's when I realized how nice the campsites were.
Yeah.
What's the coffee company? I have all their stuff at my house right now. This is embarrassing.
That's okay.
What was his name? Cooking breakfast for all the overnighters. And it smelled good, looked delicious, looked like it was keeping everyone warm. And then he came over and finished up some breakfast sandwiches and had more coffee for everyone at the start. Kelly and Jess were doing registration and helping out before they rode. I was there all day, and then I was there with a guy who started a bag company, Grava Bags, I believe.
I saw there was a new sponsor.
Yeah, so it was me, him, were there all day, and then there were some volunteers that floated out. Mike was doing about 100 things and sweeping the course, and he's a bigwig. He's unPAved with Dave, and he was cooking food for everyone. Like it was, it's always fun to hang out and talk to Mike. Like I said, he was doing about 100 different things. And so basically at RB Winter, that's the new difference. So from the parking lot there, it is a 30-mile route. Or if you're doing the 120, you cut through from Jones Mountain. There's an out and back that's got a good little punchy climb. And you do the difference out there, and you come through our aid station. So we saw the 120s come through. There was folks doing, there was a 200-mile route this year.
Yeah, I did. Backyard
200
beans.
miles with
Is it backyard
beans? Yes.
Yep, there we go.
The 200-milers had 18,000 feet of elevation.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So we had some 200-milers come through.
I used one of your photos from one of the 200-milers on Instagram today to let everybody know that we were recording a little
I want one of the 200-milers on here.
What's that?
I want one of the 200-milers on here.
Yeah, let's do that. Absolutely.
It seemed awesome. I didn't even know it was a thing, actually, which was, I'd say, embarrassing a lot this episode. So we saw a mix of everyone come through. Like I said, we had beginners all the way up to, people racing it like Carrie.
You were in a prime spot then. That sounds cool.
It was a great spot. It was a beautiful day. It wasn't too cold. The 30 milers left at 10 o'clock. Jess and Kelly, Austin ended up riding with them. Funny story real quick. We were coming out of the theater and Austin was with me, and Austin was going to go stay at the, some makeshift campground. And Casey and everyone came outside and we're talking about coming back to the house. I was like, I'm just going to go find Austin situated for the night. And I didn't realize there was a whole spare bed in the Airbnb. So they invited Austin over. So he got a hot shower, a bed. And then Austin volunteered half of Sunday at the aid station too. So it was fun. A lot. Like I said, we got a big rush of the 120s before about 10 o'clock. I think it was about like a 11 o'clock cutoff for any of the 120s that were coming through. Weren't allowed to go up to do the difference. They had to go back.
So
I don't think we turned anyone around.
You couldn't do the difference loop on the 120 if you hit there after 11. Is that what I'm understanding?
It was around. Mike told us to give a cutoff. Kerry Warner was the only person to show up after the cutoff.
It's because he just started late.
Yeah, he started right before they pulled the timing mat, like a minute or two before they pulled the timing mat. So we weren't too worried. He was a good spirit. It was a lot of fun. He actually got one of the gray buffalo SRAM things that was sitting on the table for anyone to grab.
Mm-hmm.
He grabbed that because he's the last person through.
Nobody else even saw it, or just nobody else really knew what it was? He just left.
It was right on the table. Everyone knew it was out. So, yeah, we had a lot of folks go through, started up some burgers and dogs while the 30s should have been starting to come back. Kelly, Austin, and Jess went out and rode. They got back later that afternoon. We kind of wrapped up. I want to say we got done around 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Where we were fully teared down. And what was cool about Kelly and Jess riding is Jess was like, one of the people that was, one of the last riders out there.
Mm-hmm.
And Kelly is, she literally won that 4 times, and she's an accomplished pro cyclist. And both of them together rode
That's cool.
the 30-miler
That's nice.
and had fun, and they all came back together. I was worried that Kelly would hate Jess or vice versa, or something would happen, and they all came back so happy.
Nice.
Everyone was extremely hungry. Kelly made some like hamburger, hot dog sandwich, and it was wild. And we had whoopie pies. So we packed up. So Jess was the only injury I really saw all day. She took a little stumble in the parking lot.
Oh no!
Cut her knee open before she started. Yeah.
Bad or
no?
Okay.
Just we and Jess had a history in our early days of dating where she used to fall over, clip in, and always busted her knee up.
That happens there, buddy.
And
she was just trying
that Sunday was our first ride anniversary from.
Yeah, she's just trying to relive.
Well, it's funny because it was 7 years ago. That day was when we did Seagull, which was our first real date.
Oh wow!
So it was like a little historical thing. But no, I only rode down to the bathroom and back. That's why I only had like a half a mile ride on Sunday. So we got home really quickly, and luckily we were like 4 minutes from the start finish. And we went to the after party, which turned into I was helping sling whoopie pies.
Nice.
From like 5 till almost 9. It was basically Ted and then Kelly and I was just helping out and filling up cups and doing all that. But we were cheering for people. We stayed until the last regular unPAved rider came through.
Okay.
There was 2 of them, and then we saw the first couple 200-milers roll through. But at that point in time, I think it was 9 o'clock, so we went home. I feel bad for saying I was kind of tired from working all day because I knew like Dave and every other person, like Rich and Mike, but I was pretty pooped.
Sounds like you got
because I was leaving early in the morning.
You also, whatever you're dealing with now, you never miss work, and I know that you've been off for 3 days.
I missed 3 days of work,
and you never miss work. So I'm thinking that whatever you're dealing with now has already started to hit you, and you were just running on adrenaline over the weekend.
Oh, that's what I feel like. Yeah, it's probably why I was more tired than normal.
Yeah.
So it seemed like it was perfect weather. A lot of people looked like they had fun. The after party was great. It seemed like it cleared out a little bit earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
The food was delicious. And there was a secret keg of birch beer, which I didn't think about it. Brett told me I should have taken a growler to fill it up because I drink so much of that. But yeah, I got to talk to a lot of folks from the podcast or just new, just
nice
people I haven't seen in like a year. Got to hand out whoopie pies. Got to see everyone finish. It was a lot of fun. Cool. And then Jess even came over and was doing whoopie pies and helping at the end too. So yeah, I thought it was great.
Outstanding. Sounds like a perfect gravel weekend. And I love the fact that you just proved it. You don't have to go out and do 120 miles to have a good time. Go out and do 30, 50, whatever you want to do. Enjoy it, come back, and then do all the other things. That gives you so much of an opportunity to take in so much more and build a richer experience. So
the one thing I heard Jess come away with, what she said, not come away with, but she said, I want to do the overnight next year.
No. How is that going to work? She doesn't sleep in a tent.
So here's what I want to do next year.
Okay.
Provided RB Winters is back in the game, because I thought it was extremely beautiful out there. Next year, it means I miss a little bit, and I got to figure out sleeping arrangements. But I want to go out to RB Saturday afternoon with my rooftop tent. I should book a spot here soon. Set up camp, because I would love to work that aid station again. I want to compete with Evan at Poe.
Was Evan still there slinging pierogies? And
yeah.
Okay.
The pierogi master of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I'm not going to compete with pierogies. No, I can't compete with them. No, I would love to go work that aid station again and do as much as I can out there. So I thought it'd be fun to go camp out, and then if I was there on the rooftop, Jess could ride out.
Yeah, that's right. She could do
you
the
just
overnight.
Extend your ride over 2 days, so you just take it easy.
Yeah.
Not take it easy at all, but you're not gutting to do it all in one day.
Mm-hmm. Or you could even go out and set up the camp on the rooftop and then ride back out. Double it up.
Well, Jess could always ride out on Saturday, which is still a good ride. You got a big climb in there.
Sure.
And then just do the difference, and then she doesn't have to go do the rest of the course.
Mm-hmm.
We could pack up and then drive back.
Yeah. Nice.
Or do the same thing with this year, but I do want to camp out at RB. I think that'd be a blast.
Well,
and they got nice shower houses, everything.
Let's put that on the radar. Maybe that's a better solution than a Airbnb. I kind of think that might, something different.
Because I want to do the overnight this year.
Mix it up a little bit.
But I would definitely don't mind volunteering next year.
I would
love to do the ride on. So that's why I'd like to go out Saturday so I could ride the difference.
Yeah.
And then I'm back at my camp on Saturday night, showered, and hanging out with everyone.
From what I'm hearing is it's close enough that RB Winter, you could go even on like Friday, set up a camp at RB Winter and then come into town and do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But there's lots of ways to do all of that. You can still get all the things that you want to get in and do it differently.
It's like 15 miles that takes you directly out not directly, but really close to the Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay.
Like you turn to the traffic light and your next turn is RB Winter.
Okay. Gotcha. Cool.
I also sent probably like 10 people who they wanted a shortcut out.
Mm-hmm.
That way back to town.
Okay.
Mechanical or a small injury, or they were just called it a day.
There was
no huge climbs, rollers. I also had people that did something similar, like Casey and them did something similar to what you did last year.
Oh, got out to Popatty and then
that was like the perfect route.
Audibled off, yeah.
Yeah.
And you still got almost 90 miles. It was still a big day. It was just some of the terrain was a little bit easier than climbing back up and over that mountain through the valley.
Yeah. So that's what I want to do next year.
All in all, a rich, and it'll be here before we know it. It'll be here before we know it. It's just like it's just going to be here before we go
to Croatan Campfire in a few weeks.
Yes. That's November 3rd and 4th, and I guess we still need to confirm. Are we camping Friday night and Saturday night?
I think so, because Friday night's like a 5K 1 mile run,
right?
And bonfire.
Okay. I don't want to confirm that with Matt.
And then Saturday's the ride, and I think another bonfire Saturday night.
Awesome. That's going to be a lot of fun. And I checked today. There's only like 70 people registered for that. So
I didn't realize. I guess you could check on Bike Reg.
Yeah, you can check on Bike Reg to see who's in, who's out.
That registration closes on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Make sure to get on that,
so
folks.
If you still want to go, sign up, folks.
Yeah, and the weather should be just right on. Should be just spot on perfect. I mean, come on. If you want to call it.
As long as we don't get a hurricane.
No, that's not happening. That is an option, though, isn't it? Hurricanes are always an option.
Yeah.
That's just at the end of hurricane season, though, isn't it? I think it runs through like the middle of November, or is it end of November? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
Doesn't matter. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. We're just going to go. It's going to be beautiful weather. We're going to have a fantastic time. So sign up for that sucker. Get in there while the getting's good, because it does close on the 15th, and that's Sunday. So, well, thank you, Joey. That's a tremendous. Well, friends, we lost Joey. I don't know where he went to. He's somewhere in the internet trying to still get a hold of us, but I am going to go ahead and shut this thing down. The good news is I have this or that. Now I will not have to write this or that for next week, because I'll be able to use the same this or that's from this week next week. Sounds like everybody had a fantastic time at unPAved of the Susquehanna River Valley. If you're loving that Pennsylvania gravel, make sure you check out the GTD Gravel Weekend that's coming up in late May, early June next year. You can go to the website, graveltraveldirt.com, find out more information about that. Thanks, everybody, for listening to this episode of Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt. And if you've enjoyed the podcast, maybe consider joining our Patreon family. We really do appreciate all the support, and your monthly donation of just a couple of bucks really helps keep things going over here. If you're looking to get in touch with us, graveltraveldirt.com is the website. At Mid-Atlantic GTD is the Instagram, and we are active on both. Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt is recorded this week from the internet ether. Thanks for riding along. Until next time, do good, be nice, go slow, respect others. Love you, bye.